Hello and welcome to our Leo New Moon Community Ceremony. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you, whether you're here live or listening to the recording. My name is Judy Keating, and I get to be the co-creative managing partner of Wise Transformation with the indomitable Bonnie Solomon. And we are two women intent on bringing elemental wisdom and feminine magic back into everyday life. And we do these calls twice a month to encourage introspection and contemplation about setting our goals in alignment with nature. So I'm going to talk to you about a few upcoming events. We're going to call in sacred space. We're going to talk about the timing. And we're going to get ceremonial guidance utilizing the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle deck. And we'll be together about an hour. It is so helpful, if you are willing, for you to give your feedback to what you get and your wisdom, because this is a community call. It's not really about me, it's about us. So if you can type into the chat or you can unmute, and your voice is very welcome here. So just want to say that before we get started, and I'll quickly go through some of our upcoming events. We have a live event hosted by Joy Ferguson, who's a member of our community, who is an absolute light in the world, and we at Wise Transformation. It is a Laughter Enlightenment Autumnal Festival. It's going to be hosted at Scottsdale Farms in Alpharetta. It's going to be an outdoor 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. event. We are very blessed to have an outdoor venue that has protection from the weather. But we'll get to be outside in a beautiful nature venue. There'll be 3 never been seen before presentations around our inner child, around archetypal wisdom, and around creating space in our homes to allow nature to be a part of it. So we're just very excited about it. And if you want information about it, you can go to wisetransformation.com. If you live local to it, the Atlanta area, we'd love to see you. I am a practitioner of something called crystalline consciousness technique. If you've been on calls before, you may have heard me do an energy session. And it's really my goal in the world to create as many practitioners of this incredibly profound energy technique as I can. So I'm going to be hosting a certified practitioner training. It's going to be during over several weeks between August 27th and September 17th, 2024. It's a 9-module class. Again, if you go to Wise Transformation, there's information about that. And lastly, beginning this September, I am going to be hosting and facilitating a 10-month process called the Path of the 21st Century Priestess, which really is about women reclaiming their sovereignty, women reclaiming their own inner wisdom and connection to the divine. It is a profound process that brings untold transformation, unique to each person. You get to do an individuated journey in a group, which is a unique model. And we celebrate that the only way through to unity is through diversity and celebrating each person's unique contribution in the world. So these are just experiences and educational opportunities that we have at Wise Transformation. And we are in the new moon. And when that happens, we're in a couple days before the new moon. We have the new moon in the sign of Leo. So it means that the sun and the moon are actually in the same archetype, or it's coming. And this growing phase can give us a boost of energy. And as we talk about Leo, we're going to understand that Leo is about radiant self-love, not from a place of me, but from a place of we all deserve self-love. And Leo is going to model that for us. So Leo teaches the value of radiance. It uses the key of self-love to turn up its inner light, and the brighter it radiates, the more it inspires others. It's a natural leader, performer, star, director, and celebrity. It is self-confident, dramatic, regal, open-hearted, generous, creative, expansive, powerful, and outgoing. It loves to be center stage, a leading player, celebrating and sharing its zest for life. And I want to just comment that you can have a Leo that doesn't like to be the center of attention. What is important in the Leo archetype is that it is willing to love in such a way that it radiates out to women in their community. I'm going to speak to women because that's our audience here. That if you hold the Leo energy, you shine a light so that others feel safe to do the same. That's really the profound teaching of the Leo energy, and that's what we're going to dive into today. And we're also having a Mercury retrograde. If you're not familiar with Mercury retrograde, it is a time where you could have difficulty with communication, with technology, because it is a time that asks us to actually go on the inner and to regroup. One of the greatest teachings I've ever been given about Mercury retrograde has to do with the fact that it is anything that starts with RE is the recipe, even the word recipe. See how I threw that in there? I'm chuckling at myself because I never used that word before with Leo, with Mercury retrograde. The recipe for a successful Mercury retrograde is to use this time to do anything that starts with the letter RE that you can think of. Some examples. You can review what you're working on. You can get extra rest. You can rejuvenate any part of your world. You can resolve to get to completion on things that are incomplete. You can do research. You can renew your focus. So I bet if you came up with any word that started with RE in your lexicon, your language, that this is a good time to focus on that. With the combination of radiant self-love and renewal in Mercury retrograde, this can be a time to power us up for the next quarter, not only the next 2 weeks or the next month, but really for the remainder of this year. So this is a really powerful time, but it requires us to be rested enough to continue to move ahead. And that takes focus on ourselves so that we can become generators in the world of light, of love, of acceptance, of the right for every person to be who they are and to radiate themselves. So with the Leo sun and moon, we normally at this time pick an area that you want to focus on as an individual. This time could be one area of self-love or visibility to increase in this growing cycle, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be anything at all that you would like a little bit of intuitive guidance and burst of assistance from the elements. So I'm going to actually just put on a tiny bit of music and let you reflect on what you want to focus on in this new moon. What is it you'd like assistance with? What is it you'd like to get guidance on from your own deep well of intuition? So just take a few minutes and decide what you're going to focus on in this new moon. Where do you want guidance? And you can pick more than one focus if you like. It's totally up to you. Start it. I'll turn it down. And there's absolutely no rush. If you can just indicate to me in the chat or through a thumbs up or through a I'm done, that would be great. Just take your time. So if you're complete, if you could give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay. I'm just seeing it from a couple people. So I just want to make sure. Okay. Great. Now with an area to focus on, we're going to use the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle, which was created by Lisa Michaels. And I like to say this often. If you like this deck, you can buy a hard copy of the deck, meaning a tangible deck, or you can buy it on Deckable. It's a profound little guidance tool with the elements. And so we're going to use them, and I'm going to show you the deck today. So the first element we like to start with is earth. And these words that you see on the screen are the deck. These are the earth words, earth cards. And I just like to show you the whole deck if you don't have the deck. If you've got a deck, you can pull your own, but this way you can kind of peruse, you can shop in the earth aisle and say, what is it I would like today? What is calling to me this time? And you can pick more than one if you want, but you want to make note of what you pick. It's sometimes hard to pick because they're all good. But there might be one or two where you're like, Just going to give you another few seconds to look at the cards and make sure you make note of the ones that you're. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Earth and just leave the cards up there for a minute. Earth is all about the tangible. It's all about the physical realm of our life. And first and foremost, our earthen body. So our physical body, if we did not have an earthen body, our blood, our bones, our organs would not have a place to be contained. So you want to think about the physical realm as your body first, then anything tangible around you, what you can see in terms of touch, feel, physically there, your home, your car, your bank account, your possessions. So you want to think about the earth realm. And I come up with questions that are in alignment with the theme of whatever we're working with. But please, if the question I ask doesn't resonate for you, just ask Earth herself, what guidance do I need right now? So the question I came up with today was, because Leo is about radiance, where do I need to add my own personal shine in my physical world? Again, if this question doesn't resonate for you, just ask Earth and Leo what they want you to know about your specific thing. Just open your intuition. You can't do it wrong. Again, put on low music. There's absolutely no rush, but just let me know when you're complete. Susan is a very good nonverbal communicator.
Huh?
You're a very good nonverbal communicator.
What does that mean?
I could tell you were done.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at you.
Yeah. Okay. There's something in the chat. I like to interact if that wasn't clear.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It made me laugh.
Okay. Hi Nancy. Thanks for letting me know you're done. Beautiful. Appreciate you all. Okay. So now we're going to move to water, the emotional realm. And our emotions can run the gambit. And our emotions need to move. Energy in motion, as they say. But as you look at these water cards, which ones catch your attention? You know, it's fascinating. We do these new and full moon calls, and the water planet is the moon. It influences our emotions and the tides and so much more. So which one of these beautiful cards, or which many of these beautiful cards, will support your own powerful self-love right now? Okay. Just want to make note. Here we go. So, pretty obvious question. Where can I apply more self-love if that works for you? And self-love has so many different ways of expressing. So if you want to, you can just ask water, the emotional realm. Water, what do you want me to know? How can you support me, water? So the earth and water realm is known as the feminine axis. It's where we get embodiment and emotion. Okay. Looks like a few people are finished. Just want to make sure everybody's complete. Good. And now we move on to the mental realm. So that's air. And air is very unique because we share the same air as every other human being, plant, other animal on the planet. So it's the unseen realm for a lot of us, luckily. But it is a powerful, powerful force. What we breathe in, other people have breathed out, and what we breathe out, other people breathe in. So then the mental realm, what support might you need to give you guidance at this time as you set your intentions for the Leo new moon? So go ahead and take your air cards and put them with the other cards you have. I'm really trying to drive this self-love theme home. I think with everything happening in our world right now, we all need to slow down and fill ourselves up. Where do we need to radiate self-love in your communication? And don't forget yourself in that question. We communicate to ourselves all day long. And if that doesn't serve you, just ask the air realm what you need to know or how can you benefit from getting input from air with what you're putting together? Oh, Jeannie, let me help you with that a little bit. Ethereal allies. Jeannie asked a question about one of the cards was ethereal allies. Is that correct? Is there more to that card? So ethereal allies can be anything from angels. I'm going to turn the music off for a second so you be sure you can hear me. They can be anything from the angelic realm if that aligns for you, or they can be um, the spirits of your ancestors. They can be Fairies, they can be anything that's in the unseen that are supporting us.
Beautiful. Thank you. I wasn't sure if I had all parts of that card, was written there. And thank you for the explanation. I love it.
Yeah. So as we're getting our downloads, we can just take another deep breath. We can always use one of those, right? So now we move to the fire transformation, action, doing realm. And Leo is aligned with fire. So you shouldn't be surprised to see the Radiant Self card there. Take a look. What kind of fire assistance, illumination do you need right now? And just always remember that it's action and rest. It's active and receptive. It's a whole cycle. Okay. Hopefully one or two lit up for you in the fire realm. So part of radiance is self-confidence. So I thought, what actions are needed to bring more self-confidence as a question? And again, anything that you want in terms of action, restoration, transformation, moving things forward, getting things going, look for fire to give you some guidance. Taking just another minute. Okay, now we take earth, air, water, fire, and we add the beautiful divine spirit, the divine of your understanding, the divine of your own personal relationship, called spirit. Hopefully everybody's got a card or cards that they're looking for some guidance. So spirit speaks in whispers, spirit speaks in metaphor, spirit speaks in music, and so many other ways. But the question that came to me was, what message does spirit have for you about your unique light in the world? As a potential prompt. But just take time and connect with the divine of that you know and ask for guidance. We like to take time at the end to just give ourselves time for reflection on how it all fits together. It's called a unified field. So when you look at the cards that you drew, they might fit together in a certain way that would be a message for you to give you guidance about how you want to focus your intentions for the new moon in Leo. And you might have gotten some other input from your reflection. And just see if you want to gather together the different pieces into whatever seems true in terms of a bigger takeaway from everything you've gotten so far. What would be the big takeaway as you get yourself prepped for the Leo new moon? can keep working for another minute or two. I'm just going to mention something here, and that's that this diagram, when you are working in your life, if you're having difficulty getting anything moving forward, this is a great tool to come back to make sure that you are in alignment in all areas of the elemental field. You know, sometimes I know in my life, I might get going fast somewhere and I don't have enough emotional support on board for what I'm doing, or I may not be as organized as I could be. So coming back to this as a tool to say, where might I be out of balance? It's a great reflection tool to use. If things aren't moving exactly as you want, and always understand that everything it has its own organic timing, which unfortunately doesn't always agree with what we think should be happening. But just wanted to mention that as we do this twice a month, but it's also just a great thing to have in your back pocket. And I so appreciate all of you being here. Would anyone want to either put in the chat or speak aloud any big takeaway or little takeaway or observation so I can hear your voice today?
I can share. When we were going through the water, I was really moved when I was connecting with the water and the ocean. I actually started crying. I
Hmm.
wanted to be in the sea and swimming. I think it's calling me. And yeah, and then going around the circle, it's linking into what I value the most about life, about where I am now.
Hmm.
The space of being free and connecting with my allies, my ancestors, and being in that surrendering space and flow with water.
Hmm.
And then, then coming back into action and putting things into place and being focused and disciplined in the physical and the action area.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, this was really useful.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your voice here today.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share? You don't have to. I just like to give a little opportunity for people to share.
Wanted to well, thank you, Judy. And Susan, I love your accent. When you said, water, I just was like, I want to
Water.
I want to be there too, because we're based in Atlanta here is a bit of a for those of us who are in Atlanta, a bit of a stretch. I really appreciated this exercise and felt that I created both little micro steps I could do, as well as, really large. And but so all of it just so it's really on par with what's coming up. And so thank you for
Absolutely. Thank
this,
you.
this filter. That's just, I'm so glad I saw your email saying that this was happening in an hour and that I could take advantage of it.
Yes. So glad you all are here.
I appreciate the space everybody's created here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Judy.
Sure. Anybody else want to
Everyone else.
share before we tell you when we're going to do it again?
Well, I appreciate everybody sharing.
Yeah.
And the message I got is I have to have more confidence in myself. And I have to trust myself.
Beautiful,
Or I
Nancy.
have messages for the world that are necessary to get out.
Thank you for being willing to speak that out loud and for also doing it. Thank you, Nancy. Well, it is always a pleasure to see the light, the wisdom, the beauty and the love that we can create together in this community. And we're going to meet again right before the Aquarius full moon. We met obviously a few days before the Leo new moon, but Monday, August 19th is the Aquarius full moon. So I'm going to do it on a Sunday, which is unusual, but I didn't want to do it on the Friday. So I just figured this would be better. Maybe more people could come. Sunday afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time, 2 p.m. And please know that if you ever want to be a part of it and you can't be here, we do have a YouTube channel, Wise Transformation LLC. You can watch the recording. But for all who are listening, whether you're here live or with the recording, just know that our circle is valued and our circle is important, and doing this work, reflecting on these times and taking time to really tap into who you are is so vital. Thank you so very much. Have a great Leo new moon, and thank you again for being here, and be well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Lynn, for being here.